world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world on ESPN, live from New York City, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, the WBO World Champion fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing black trunks with gold trim and hailing from Sidra, Puerto Rico, he weighed in at 134.2 pounds. With a record of 25 wins and 1 loss, he has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2-weight division world champion in his 7th world title appearance. Please welcome the current and defending WBO lightweight champion of the world, introducing Hosse Sniper Pedraza. And his opponent across the ring, the WBA champion fighting out of the red corner. Wearing black, green, and yellow trunks, hailing from Akyerman, Ukraine. His weight 134.4 pounds, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. His professional record stands at 11 wins, 1 loss, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in his 12th world title appearance, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 3-weight division world champion, the pound-for-pound star of boxing, and the current and defending WBA lightweight champion of the world, introducing Vasiliy Lomachenko. And now introducing our referee in charge of this bout, he'll be giving instructions, Harvey Dock.
See that look in Lomachenko's eyes, how he just flips the switch to total focus. The Loma chant is raining down here in New York. Not often the case that you have a Puerto Rican world champion booed in New York. Loma, the attraction, by far.
Okay, boxers, we went over the instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
So here we go to unify the lightweight belts. Lomachenko, Pedraza. Glad you're with us. Joe Tessitore alongside Timothy Bradley and Mark Kriegel, Bernardo Osuna, our ace ringside reporter. Tim, what do you look for early on?
Well, I'm going to look for the game plan right now from both fighters. Right now, Pedraza's choosing to come forward and attacking Loma right now. Loma's going to be just calculated right now. He's been out of the ring for a while, and he's going to just give just a little look at Pedraza.
Right now is when Lomachenko starts downloading your information. For Pedraza, he has to be faithful to his skill set. Do what you do best, jab and move.
Has the height advantage, has the reach advantage to do that. But in doing so, do you offer up countering opportunities to the crafty Lomachenko? Testing a little bit of range. As always, watch the footwork of Lomachenko. Sublime.
See, Loma feinted right there. He stepped in, and he just got a little look at Pedraza. He saw Pedraza pull straight back, so look for Loma to follow him out with the straight left hand.
That's what Pedraza says, I can't stay in front of him. Also look for Lomachenko's right foot to get outside Pedraza's.
That's exactly how you keep a right-handed fighter off balance, and you make him reach with his right hand when you keep it outside, like Lomachenko likes to do.
Lomachenko will come around you from that side and throw the uppercuts to the body. Become a signature shot.
Lomachenko firing off that left uppercut when he got into range. It was just off the mark.
Pedraza right there a few moments ago noticed that Loma likes to lean to his right, likes to rock to his right.
Oh, there's a left hand from Lomachenko as he was timing Pedraza. Then he touches him with a left hand to the body.
What I was saying was Pedraza landed a nice little right hand on Loma, as Loma likes to suddenly sometimes like to lean to his right, just like there. He does that often. He can come back with the left hook as well.
Got a 3-division world champion in Lomachenko against a 2-division world champion in Pedraza. As we are here with our very own 2-division world champion in Timothy Bradley. So take us through what you see as the good and the bad with each
Let's look
man.
at the good. Excellent timing. He understands what to do at every moment in the ring, just about every single moment. And positioning. He gets in a position where he can hit you for the most time. You didn't see it yet, and you can't hit him. He gets around you. But the bad, like I told you, he rocks to his right quite often. Lomachenko does. And you can time him with the right hand or left hook. Now let's look at Pedraza, the good. He throws effective right hands. He got countered when he threw a right hand that last round. But he has a sharp right hand. He needs to use it. That's the punch that knocked down Loma. And the bad, he fades second half. You cannot fade against the Matrix, Lomachenko.
Here was that left hand halfway through that first round by Lomachenko. It lands flush and clean.
That's timing. That is exactly how you time a fighter. But you see where he's at. He's directly in front of you. That's excellent timing by Loma. You see the game plan of Pedraza. Pedraza, he boxes every now and then, and he tries to press the action. Loma's just sitting back, very calculated, looking for his opportunities, making Pedraza think and make mistakes.
But this idea that Pedraza doesn't want to engage is counterfeit. Ask Antonio Moran from 2 fights ago. Ask Ray Beltran.
He's able to earn the belt against Ray Beltran. That was back in August in Arizona. It was a 12-round unanimous decision. And Pedraza finished very strong that night. Scored a knockdown in the 11th round, beat him badly in the 12th round. And consider that was on the road in front of Beltran's hometown fans who were chanting Mexico, Mexico all night long for Ray Beltran. One of the great inspiring stories of recent years in boxing. Now he's here at MSG, seemingly always a place that would favor Puerto Rican world champions. But as Loma says, this is my home now. And Ukrainian fans here in New York and those who travel in, they have taken to it to root on the pound-for-pound king.
Pedraza now taking his attention downstairs, landing a nice little sneaky right hand to the body of Loma. He's trying to slow him down.
That would be very useful to do so. And the body work could be effective in getting that done.
I've never seen Loma sit this still in front of a guy before.
Trying to time that left hand again, Timmy.
He's a pretty skilled boxer. The great pedigree that he's trying to figure out.
Comes in with a lead left hand that time against Pedraza.
That's exactly what I was talking about from the first round. Pedraza pulled straight back. Loma followed him out right there. He caught him with the straight left hand down the middle.
Stayed on those train tracks and was able to score.
Pedraza's got to keep him at the end of that jab. He's got 5 inches in reach, and he needs to use it.
Well, Pedraza's throwing one punch at a time. He needs to throw combinations against Loma. You're not going to hit him with one punch. He's going to make you miss. But the second and third shot, may have a chance.
But that right hand, which has scored, is set up by the jab, Tony.
Coming to the end of 2 here. Lightweight unification bout.
Hey!
See all the Ukrainian flags here at Madison Square Garden tonight as we're ready for round number 3. Another left hand came in from Loma in that last round.
Left hand right here from Loma. Pedraza leaning straight back, pulling straight back, trying to get out of range. Didn't get out fast enough, and Loma made him pay, followed him right out. Pedraza, that's a bad mistake, a flaw that Pedraza has, and Loma's going to continue to make him pay if he continues to do that.
There was a moment where Loma just dipped to the right, leaned to the right, the way you say he is flawed to do if you're going to find one flaw, and yet it wasn't a full effort right hand driving down from Pedraza. He has to take advantage of those moments as well. You know, you sit there, you look at the record of Lomachenko. You know the great record, 396-1 as an amateur, the couple gold medals, and then 11-1, that blemish as a pro. He's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. So what about the 1? Well, maybe that's actually the only answer there is. His second pro fight, he fought for a world title in his second pro fight. That is absolutely unheard of. And it was against the veteran Orlando Salido, who came in overweight. It was controversial. Loma was getting hit by low blows. It was rugged. It was pressure. It was an absolute brawl. And then finally, Vasily figured things out and started coming on strong and had Salido hurt at the end, was sweeping the late rounds, but it was too little too late, and that's the one blemish.
Looking at Lomachenko, you look at all his fights, he's 413-2. So this is, we talk about Alabama. This is a guy,
yes,
since early adolescence, who's been fighting the best fighters in the world. And Jose Pedraza holding his own. And this is, Jose Pedraza is the antithesis of Orlando Salido, who I mentioned before.
Who's gonna just maul and make it a dirty fight and do anything it takes.
But that was a necessary night in the education of Vasiliy Lomachenko. He says, that's the night that taught me to fight dirty.
Well, to be a pro, that you're no longer in the amateurs.
But he's also, Loma's also learning something about himself right now with Pedraza. He's testing the limits of his shoulder. We have not seen the right hook.
There's Loma, and there's the footwork. Remember, he's coming off reconstructive shoulder surgery. He hurt his shoulder in his last fight. It was a sensational 10th round TKO against Jorge Linares. Loma went down in that fight. He was knocked down in the 6th round by a right hand. He got up, had that body shot that dropped Linares.
It's one of the most curious and admirable elements listening to Loma. It's not just the victory, it's the manner of victory. And I think that's what causes him some concern about Pedraza. At some level, he's such a perfectionist. His father is such a perfectionist that looking not great is almost tantamount to a defeat.
Body work from Pedraza here as we close out the 3rd.
Hey!
Coming down that center row at the
Seconds out.
Madison Square
Seconds
Garden.
out.
A room mostly filled with
Seconds out.
Ukrainian fans. Look at that left eye of Lomachenko. You can see some redness and abrasion there, as they were putting the grease around that left eye of the WBA lightweight champion. Title unification. Pedraza, the WBO champion.
Anytime Pedraza stays still for just a split second, Loma follows him out, makes him, forces him with the pressure to commit a mistake by pulling back.
What does that tell you, Tim? Don't stay still.
Well, let's hear what they're saying in that corner of Pedraza. Bernardo.
His stepfather, Luis Espada, said, look, you've got to use your length. You've got to stay more active and use angles. Hit and move.
Use angles against the guy in boxing who's perhaps the most angular.
And he's just done something he told us he would do, is he switched up. And he's gone southpaw.
Let's see if he stays that way as he's poking out that right jab. He's committed to it for now.
And when he keeps the fight outside and uses feet, and he stays busy and stay consistent, he does look good. But once he stands still for just a split second, Loma comes on with a couple of combinations of himself.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see this as a wide differential between the two fighters. I still got a pretty close fight here.
It is a close fight. But you see, Loma's already planted the seed already.
And now he closes that gap, lets those hands go for a moment. And then puts a right hand, that jab, southpaw jab to the body.
One of the things that turning southpaw will do for Pedraza is alleviate him from the punch that he fears most, which is Loma coming around his right side and then shooting a right or left uppercut to the body.
Well, what I'm looking for is for Loma to throw the right hook, and he hasn't thrown it yet. He has not thrown his right hook yet, at all.
Why do you think that is, Timmy?
I think that it's on his mind. He's unsure. He doesn't want to hurt it.
The surgery you're talking about?
Yeah, the surgery. Absolutely. I'm looking for him to use the right hook with conviction. He hasn't thrown it once yet.
Saw a three-punch combination moments ago as he tried to get that straight left in behind the jab. Now he doubles up that right jab. There's a short left hand on the inside there from Lomachenko. And then that lead left hand again that he has found some success with falls in that time, and Pedraza was unable to measure him up. End of 4 here for the lightweight unification, as we will check in with Kevin, Andre, and Stephen A. Gentlemen.
Well, Tess, a measured start by Lomachenko. Pedraza is holding his own. The shoulder has been a big storyline coming in. Andre, how is it impacting this fight?
I mean, so far so good for Loma. I'm not seeing him throw a lot of right hooks. I'm not overly alarmed about that. I mean, he just had surgery 6.5 months ago, so I don't think it's hurting him. I think he's just overly, cautious and aware, again, which is normal. Pedraza's putting up a good fight. I have it even right now. We'll see how it goes as we go into the 5th round.
I got Lomachenko up 3 rounds to 1. I think he's been more active. I think he's had a couple of flurries to steal a couple of rounds. Obviously, in terms of the fight, it's close. But at the same time, I think that Lomachenko stole a couple of rounds with a little bit of flurries midway through the rounds. I'm watching for that right hook that he hasn't thrown yet. That could obviously emanates from the surgery. So I'm looking at that a lot as well.
Test some tough rounds to score early on.
Yeah.
They are. I would side a little more with Stephen A. in saying that the most distinct, clean, and effective punching have been the left hands that have gotten attention in the midst of these rounds from Lomachenko. But there isn't a big gap between Pedraza and Lomachenko as it stands right now. Start of round number 5.
Again, you see Loma leans to his, see how he goes to his right there. Throw that right hand down the middle. Throw it. And finish with the hook. And throw the hook towards the shoulder so you don't miss Loma's head. For Pedraza. You see all the probes and the foot movement? All that's designed to get you out of position.
It does its job.
He wants to force you out. The pressure, he stays close. He has short arms. He needs to get close to work. Lomachenko.
Short arms with quick hands.
Short arms, quick hands. He has the feet of a dancer. The hands almost of a kung fu master.
And he talked a lot about that when we sat with him yesterday, of saying that's exactly how he wanted to approach a good chunk of this fight. And you're seeing it with some of the hand movement now.
One of the things that I haven't seen from Loma yet is he hasn't stepped around like he normally does.
Give some credit to Pedraza for that.
How so, Mark?
Well, he knows where he wants to go. He's very conscious of him moving around that left foot, and he's prevented it from happening. That's why he goes southpaw sometimes. But listen, this is a pretty skilled guy in his own right.
That was some of the best work from Pedraza right there. as he was able to fire off the right hand in the combination that followed, as he's back orthodox now here. But, you know, you mentioned that, not stepping around. If you asked me to describe Lomo in any one way, I would tell you jumping off and stepping around and getting that angle to the right, where all of a sudden you don't even realize he's no longer in front of you. Right. He's to the side of you, and then he's landing his punches.
And you see other fighters, they're amazed. Oh, how did he get there? You haven't seen that from him in this fight.
Not yet.
I want to give Pedraza his respect here. He's not applying for the job of the world's greatest Puerto Rican fighter. But if he distinguishes himself tonight, it's a title he'll have.
Oh, I mean, if he distinguishes himself tonight, you're talking the family of Tito Trinidad, Miguel Cotto, and beyond. As all of a sudden, after what was continued good work in the 5th round, Pedraza has to fight back against Lomachenko. But I like the steady work rate and what he was able to accomplish here in round number 5, Pedraza.
I like it as well. Doing a good job working his hands and finding his opportunity.
No doubt.
Vamos, estamos bien. Esta manita arriba. Nos desconfiados, pero haciendo el trabajo. Martillamos 2 veces y no hace nada, nos vamos y rompemos.
Well, here's a left hand landed by Loma. He times this. He knocks down the jab of Pedraza and throws a straight left hand down the middle. Good shot by Loma.
Those little things that create opportunity.
Yeah, he knocked it down, and you know, Pedraza sat there to take that left hand on.
That's kung fu, fellas.
That's what he said. There are the CompuBox numbers, the total punches as it stands right now. Lomachenko, a 60-30 connect advantage. You can see Pedraza's work rate is high, but his percentage is low.
His work rate has to be high because he has to keep this boy up off of him.
I'll tell you what Pedraza does not look like right now is a 35-1 dog.
You know, boxing odds are, I disregard them all the time. Obviously, you got the dead money with the big fighter. And whenever 2 guys are in the ring, all it takes is 1 punch.
I defer to you on gambling matters, but it's apropos. Jeremy Schaap's marvelous film, 42-1, is coming out on Tuesday.
And Buster Douglas is sitting ringside here tonight.
Pedraza catching Loma when Loma sits still for just a moment, trying to move in, moving straight in. I've never seen Loma really move straight in like that, like he's doing right now.
Well, Loma just fired off a short left hand that just was off the mark, but that's not. As you could tell, he was thinking about it, and he fired it off. Comes again with it. And now probes with that southpaw jab for just a moment as Pedraza tries to create something. As he switches stances again. Pedraza, a versatile fighter.
Loma gets that lead foot outside of Pedraza's left foot when Pedraza is unorthodox to land that straight left hand down the middle.
What feet?
It's all about positioning with Loma. He likes to get himself in a position where he can hit you and you can't hit him.
But he never knows an awkward moment.
It's timing. What I like about Loma is he does everything at the front end. He can do it off the back end, but I like the fact that he's aggressive. You know, he's not a fighter that just wants to just play defense. He plays defense, but he also has offense behind it.
He could be Mayweather-esque only if he wanted to, but I think that's what makes him such a fan favorite and such an exciting guy to watch, is he will make the fight. He will be willing to be the aggressor. He's disgusted by the thought of a fight being talked about as boring.
I think it has to do with the way he embraces risk.
Сразу с этой стороны начинаем. Понял? Раз, два, три, отсюда, и включайся. Не давай цепляться.
Don't let him catch up with you. You move up a little bit, you move to the right. Move up to the left. Don't let him to catch.
Он здесь ее не выхватывает. Только ты дернул, растянул, он провисает сразу. Ты понял?
Don't let him too close to you. Keep yourself away.
Не старайся ударить сильно. Будешь стараться, ничего не получится. Повторно отлично идет. Вышагивание, ты пробиваешь слева. Нужно передний заканчивать. И ты начинаешь тревожить передний, он нажимает.
Look how Loma sets his left hand up. He ducks in the cubby hole right there and comes up with a straight left hand. Watch him as he dips. Makes a miss and then makes him pay. That's what I'm talking about. That's aggressive defense right there. Beautiful shot by Loma.
I think these left hands by Lomachenko have been leading the way all night long. I understand that we haven't had a gap throughout the early rounds. I understand that Pedraza is doing his very best to work it at his style. But at least once or twice around, you get these left hands out of Lomachenko that when you're sitting here scoring the fight, they make you lean that way.
Because every defensive move leads to something offensive. You know, before, it's time to cite really one of the most influential figures in boxing, Anatoly Lomachenko. He had Vosdik, he has Usyk, he's created Loma. His influence on boxing is extraordinary, and he's the only trainer in the game doesn't talk. To us.
Doesn't care to. The father of Vasiliy Lomachenko, who, as you said, helped craft a light heavyweight champion, a current cruiserweight champion, and his son, ESPN.com's pound-for-pound best in the world.
I once asked the strength and conditioning coach, Cecilio Flores, who worked in the camp, what did the father tell you? When did this start? He goes, oh, before Loma was born. It was all planned before he was born.
Every time Pedraza tries to retreat, and he goes out too wide, there's Loma with the combination. There it is again.
Three-punch combination from Lomachenko.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Pedraza has his moments when he's out long and he throws his combinations from a distance. And he gets out in time and don't allow Loma to close the gap on him for return fire.
He spoke of the necessity of lateral movement, but he's really too much in and out on a straight line.
Yes.
It's a good point, Mark.
Yes, it is. Nice looping left hand right there by Pedraza.
As Loma was going to the right.
Just changing the trajectory right there of his punch.
Then he goes with an uppercut to the body and tried to come back with a right hand as Loma continues to take short steps forward and then goes to the body himself. And now a good exchange in the middle of the ring here in the closing 20 seconds here of round number 7 as these champions willing to pick up the pace a bit. And a three-punch combination from Lomachenko. Just missed with a left hand, and Pedraza backs him up. Not much landed flush, but a good amount of aggression to get the crowd's attention. Our world title fight here, and then come February, another one. Alvarez-Kovalev, the rematch. They put on a show this summer. It'll be for the WBO light heavyweight world title the night before the Super Bowl from the Star in Frisco, Texas. Elidir Alvarez and Sergey Crusher Kovalev. Kovalev is sitting ringside as well tonight as we make our way back here in the Hulu Theater. Pedraza himself was a great amateur. We talk so much about Lomachenko, one of the all-time great amateurs, but Pedraza represented Puerto Rico in the 2008 Olympic Games, was a gold medalist in the Central American, Caribbean Games, and a three-time Puerto Rican national amateur champion. Two-division world champion as Lomachenko has increased his output now for 4 straight rounds. CompuBox tallying everything for us tonight. And the arrow trends upward for Lomachenko as the fight goes deeper. Let's check in with Bernardo.
You know, Luis Espada said, stay far away from him. Make Loma come to you and then catch him as he's coming in. And don't stand right in front of him for prolonged periods of time.
Problem is, if you don't catch him, what then Loma's offering up?
But I like the fact that Pedraza looping an overhand right there. Just grazed Loma. But I like the fact that Pedraza's going down to the body of Loma.
There's a body shot in the mix of that exchange.
That pressure from Loma is something else. He makes you make mistakes with all that pressure.
There he goes with a right hand to the body. He got just under the left elbow of Pedraza. But Pedraza steps forward. And now Pedraza with that jab and a left hand behind it.
That's exactly what Pedraza has to do. He has to follow him out. When he's trying to take a rest from throwing some punches, he needs to follow him out with his own punches.
And he did it right there. There aren't a lot of moments of rest, though, with Lomachenko.
Think about where we were a year ago. Neither of these guys were lightweights. Now they're both champions.
That is a slip. You can see the comfort with Lomachenko when he's right in that pocket, right in the kitchen. He'll stand right in front and be willing to dodge and be willing to throw.
Right about now, Pedraza's got to be thinking, I wish I'd gone to the body more earlier.
Yes.
I mean, easier said than done, but you got to wonder, what can I do to slow this guy down?
Well, when he went to the body, he slowed him down.
Comes in, Pedraza searching for a right hand to be timed. End of 8 here in New York to unify the lightweight titles. Let's go check in with Kevin, Andre, and Stephen A again.
Test 2/3 of the way through. We're approaching the championship rounds. Andre Ward, how do you have it so far?
I mean, I've got it 5-3 Lomachenko right now. I think he's doing just enough to stay ahead. He's not dominating like he typically would. Pedraza's still in the fight. He hasn't packed it in mentally, but he's ahead certainly. And if it keeps going like this, I see him slowly breaking Pedraza down and potentially stopping him before the distance.
I got him 6 rounds to 2, Lomachenko. I think he's the constant aggressor. I think that he's connected on the numerous combinations in the middle of the round, and you could see him wearing down Pedraza as we speak. Pedraza's going to the floor. The reason why he was on the canvas for a second there, to some degree, you can attribute exhaustion to that. He's wearing him down.
His legs are getting weak.
That's what I'm saying. The legs are getting weak.
Tess, Lomachenko promised us that Pedraza has a style he doesn't like. We're seeing that play out here, but he's hanging around.
He is. Round number 9 here.
Here's the problem for Pedraza. He's not losing rounds by much, but he's losing them clearly. So the question is, how do you get back in? He's not that kind of puncher.
Pretty much the still same thing going on. Loma trying to get close to land. Pedraza trying to keep his distance and work from far out. Nice time right hand there by Pedraza.
Good job splitting the guard with the jab as well.
Loma looks good, but you have to wonder, is it what he expects of himself? Is he satisfied?
I don't know that he's ever satisfied. And now Pedraza getting some work to that belt line when Loma got to the inside that time.
Don't push his head down.
Yeah, Pedraza said, Loma seems like a nice guy, but he's really not. He'll step on your foot. He'll hit you behind the head. He ain't that nice.
No,
well, he said you go back and you watch tape, and something we've noticed before, too. Every so often, Loma may call out to the referee, distract you, and then throw a punch. You turn, you look at the referee as if something's going to be said to you, and next thing you know, here comes the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world throwing a punch at you.
Tim, you ever do that?
You need to do whatever you need to do to get an advantage in this ring.
It's prize fighting,
That's a yes.
not amateur boxing.
Well, Tim, how does Pedraza close the gap? How does he get back in this?
Pedraza's doing well right now. Loma's not really having any good moments this round. I haven't seen just far. Pedraza's trying to use his footwork, and he needs to let his hands go and be a little bit more consistent and be solid with his defense. See how his head is moving everywhere? He might as well put his hands in his pockets because he's not doing anything off the defense. Too many defensive moves.
Assuming that the judges see it somewhat like our esteemed analysts, like I do.
Oh, good uppercut from Loma that time.
Pedraza leaning forward. That's why he was able to hit him with that uppercut.
How does he get in without a big shot?
He has to let that right hand go.
Okay. Thank you.
Come on, this is your night. This is a great fight.
Let's go, let's go.
I think both those statements could be questioned. Is it his night? Is it a great fight?
It's a pretty good one.
Pretty good fight. For Pedraza to pull an upset, certain things would have to happen, and it would need to be an exceptional fight from Pedraza. But here we are arriving at round number 10 with still opportunity existing.
Consider the level of expectation that Lomachenko stirs up. You expect him to make the other guy quit. I haven't seen anything close to quitting from Pedraza tonight.
No.
We were here a year ago where he overwhelmed Guillermo Rigondeaux. I understand it was a different weight, but still, we haven't seen anything close to that.
That's when he picked up that nickname Lomachenko.
Pedraza throwing the right uppercut right there. That's very smart.
Loma had that stretch of 4 straight opponents who quit on the stool against him.
And in some senses, I think that what he was talking about yesterday is he's a prisoner of his own expectations.
There's a right hand to the body from Pedraza. Came at the end of the combination. Seemingly unaffected, Lomachenko comes forward behind that southpaw jab. There's another right hand that gets around the guard and scores to the body from Jose Pedraza. So he's found a target that he likes here in round 10.
Mark, I'm curious to know, are you impressed by Loma tonight, Mark?
This is not the Loma that we've come to know, fear, worship. No. But I haven't seen the right hook, nor have I seen that right uppercut to the body, which will become his signature punches.
I have to agree with you, Mark.
So maybe you know something on the way in.
Wow, Pedraza's boxing well right now. Timing Loma before he gets to the spot where he wants to be.
There goes your uppercut again. And I think this may be his best round of the fight.
It is. And that's the shot he needs to land. Something different, something Loma hasn't seen. Come up the middle as Loma tried to get close to him.
Left hand and then tries to chase him down. Pedraza fires back. Good finish to the 10th round. WBO champion Pedraza, WBA champ Lomachenko, and a sellout crowd here in New York.
Pedraza came to fight tonight. I think all the running in the mountains in Vegas definitely did some good to his conditioning because he's in this fight right now.
I actually think it's something else. I think that he thinks of himself as a champion again.
He has good reason to. He's earned that status.
It was a devastating blow to him, not just professionally, but personally when he lost to Gervonta Davis. His concentration was suspect that night, but he also said that he was better at a heavier weight. He was artificially light.
Well, you just look at his frame and you can understand that. That happened back in January of 2017 in Brooklyn. Since then, he's been on that tear. And the win against Antonio Moran. And then, of course, we were ringside with the defeat of Ray Beltran to win this belt. He came on so strong at the end there. He scored a knockdown in the 11th round here. What will you offer in the 11th round against Lomachenko?
But again, in neither of those fights was he risk-averse.
No.
I think Pedraza's been a very difficult opponent.
Good left hand from Lomachenko, and then he backs it up and steps in and lands the combination. And here comes Vasiliy, standing right in the pocket. Short right hand, right hook, strafing attack to the head. Lomachenko right in the center of the ring, getting the best of Pedraza. Uppercut comes in. Look at the accuracy from Lomachenko. When he decides to go, does he ever? Lomachenko dominating round number 11. Pedraza in trouble. Shot after shot landing home from Vasiliy. Now he goes to the body. Back upstairs with the right hand. Uppercut comes in with the left. Another uppercut at short distance. Turns it over. Takes that angle and scores with a massive uppercut. What a dominating performance here. And down goes Pedraza. An absolute beatdown.
6, 7, 8, 9. You okay? It's good. You all right? Sure?
Now to finish. 20 seconds for the great Lomachenko to work here. Second knockdown score. Is this it?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You okay? Sure?
He survives the round, but Lomachenko was absolutely sensational. That uppercut in the midst of the rally prior to the first knockdown was just superb, Timmy.
Leaning forward, pop your head up with the uppercut. Why not? Lomachenko landed it over and over. It comes over the top. You see here, Pedraza trying to hold on here. Got hit with a lot of clean punches in those exchanges. And down he goes. Smart little short body shot by Loma. Lands to the liver of Pedraza, and down he went.
And now the 12th and final round as Lomachenko hit the gas pedal and never turned back in that 11th. Pedraza looks a little steadier on his feet here, coming out trying to show something. The power punches landed in the last round. 42 by Lomachenko. 42 power punches landed in that 11th round.
Obviously, Lomachenko has adapted to something, because the one punch you didn't see in that onslaught was the right hook.
How about that uppercut by Lomachenko in that 11th round? And now what can he do as the majority of the crowd is on their feet and the chant of Loma has gone up here in New York? And Pedraza is trying as best he can.
Loma's taking his attention downstairs to the body to set up this attack. Pedraza still affected by that left hand to the liver from the last round.
And the question now becomes, can Pedraza do anything better than survive?
Have a willingness to do that.
Well, he has an aggressive fighter coming at him. He's gonna have to time him with a straight right hand. Kind of like what Linares did. He needs to sit down and do it, though.
Given what we've seen from recent opponents, survival is not an inconsiderable accomplishment.
Isn't that true? Loma trying to corral him. He splits the guard with a left hand. Taking those short steps in. Coming up on the final minute of this title unification bout. Give Pedraza credit for getting through that 11th round and making his way here to this final minute of the 12th. Off the angle, just a short right hand from Loma. Can he find a home for that left again?
Well, Pedraza's on retreat.
Well, right now the question for Pedraza is, can he survive what so many others could not?
You're absolutely right. That's what he's doing right now. He's trying to survive.
He wanted a break.
So he went down for it.
He wanted a break. The break was more important than the knee.
Well, at least he can say that he survived Lomachenko.
Gonna make it to the finish line. But man, he was almost thrown off a cliff there in that 11th round. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. That was Teofimo Lopez. He's now 11-0, one of the fastest rising stars in the sport. We saw Emmanuel Navarrete win the WBO Junior Featherweight World title, and then just moments ago, what an 11th round out of Vasiliy Lomachenko. Let's look at the CompuBox final tally. The power punches. Look at that final column for Lomachenko. He landed 158 power punches. You had the uppercut in the 11th round. You had the left hand throughout. Dominating performance on power punches and 46%. Tremendous accuracy. Let's go hear from the guys on the set. Stephen A. and Andre and Kevin.
All right, Tess, thanks so much. You know, we came into the night wondering if winning would be enough for Vasiliy Lomachenko. Would he have to do it in style? We almost got it in the 11th round. Andre Ward, how did you see the fight?
I had it 8 rounds to 4 for Lomachenko. He was ahead for most of the fight after the 6th round. You could see a little ring rush. You could see a little hesitation with the right shoulder. But you forgot all about that when you saw that onslaught in the 11th round. That's probably one of the best rounds that I've ever seen. And that's why Lomachenko is who he is. He created separation. He showed you why he's revered the way that he is and why he's considered such a special fighter. I tip my hat to him tonight. And even Pedraza. Pedraza could have packed it in. He could have gave up like a lot of guys. He didn't do that. Hats off to him. But Lomachenko did what he had to do tonight.
I got Lomachenko 9 rounds to 3. Final score 117-110. Obviously, he got a 10-8 round in the 11th. I thought that he pretty much dominated the second half of the fight with the exception of the 10th round. You know what? The only shock that I walk away from here with, I'm shocked Pedraza survived. I really am.
Tess, let's send it back down to you to see how the judges have it.
Thank you, gentlemen. And for that, we send it up to the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Tom Schreck scores about 119 to 107. Steve Weisfeld and Joseph Pasquale both scored about 117 to 109. All three in favor of the winner. He is now the unified WBA and WBO lightweight champion of the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Vasiliy Lomachenko has unified the WBA and WBO lightweight world title. Pedraza tried as he could for the most part. Then came that 11th round. Up to the ring to Bernardo we go.
All right, we're here with Vasiliy Lomachenko. Vasiliy, first man in your last 9 fights to survive. What took you so long to figure him out?
I need to translate a little bit. Egis, translate me, please.
All right, Egis, what took him so long to figure him out? Because he was the first man after 8 knockouts to go the distance with him.
Что тебе так долго заняло найти его?
You know, he is a good, he is a true warrior. and he do a very good job. So I respect Pedraza team. Very good job. Thank you.
Now, you knew that he could be a tough opponent because of his style. How do you rate your performance? Are you happy with your performance tonight?
Ты рад своему выступлению?
Of course, I'm happy. Of course, I stay a little bit closer to my dream, to my goal. So I wanted to say happy birthday, Bob Arum, and I wanted to say thank you, my team, and all people who come to support me. Happy. Thank you very much.
How did the shoulder hold up? When did you get confident with your shoulder tonight?
Плечо.
Everything good. I don't have a problem, so I'm healthy 100%. Thank you.
You had never done this. You have 2 belts tonight. You unified. What does it mean to you?
Oh, I think I told later, да? Я раньше говорил уже, что мне знал, что это значит. Early. I told early. I don't want to repeat.
One man, 1 belt. That's what Vasiliy Lomachenko wants at lightweight. Who do you want next?
Of course, I want 2 more belts, and maybe we can make in the next year fight with Mikey Garcia.
That's a fight that boxing needs. So Vasiliy Lomachenko wants to do this for his father, and he also wants to unify all the belts.
Mikey Garcia has some business otherwise, but that is undoubtedly a fight that all fight fans would want to see. Your final thoughts, Mark, on Vasiliy Lomachenko's performance tonight?
You know, I thought that Pedraza distinguished himself in not surrendering the way so many others had. Then that 11th round onslaught came. It was rather extraordinary.
It took us some time to figure him out. You know, I knew Pedraza would be tough because he's long-rangey and he can box and he can do a lot of other things. He's very skillful. But Loma, once again, prevailed. He showed his class, the cream. Like Dre always says, always rise to the top.
Does it ever. And he is at the top of ESPN.com's pound-for-pound list with good reason. Now 2 lightweight championship belts. Zerto Ramirez, Jesse Hart is a sensational super middleweight title fight coming up on ESPN Plus on Friday. Fun night in New York. A lot of great action, capped by that sensational 11th round by Vasiliy Lomachenko. Now the WBA and WBO lightweight world titleists. Sports Center is coming up right now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody.